Hello all my YouTube friends. Today's video is all about me back in the 90s. Almost never allow myself to go back to that time because there were a lot of bad things happening during that time. But I have a friend who found my YouTube channel, hadn't seen her or heard from her in over 30 years. And she reached out to me and we connected. So we decided to get together and have a meetup. And I stopped by for about 5 or 6 days to visit with her while I'm in California. And during that time, it brought up a lot of memories, a lot of old memories, some memories that, bad memories that we shared, but also brought up a few good memories. During that same period of time, I lost my dad to a heart attack. I lost my mother to lung cancer. And then I lost my son, my youngest son, in a swimming accident. I lost my health. I went through a divorce. I lost my home. I had to give up foster care. I was working full-time and going to school full-time, but I couldn't work anymore. So I had lost all of that. So it was a really, really rough time. And later then, I had a nervous breakdown. And since then, I've been working on healing. So when I saw Stephanie, she had a video. So back in the early 90s, I was part of a religious group. And during that time, we almost had no parties. This one was rare, celebrating a friend's retirement. So I'm going to share some of the highlights of that gathering because of copyright issues, I'm not allowed to play all the music, but I will try to get in a little bit of it. Later, I left that religion. I won't discuss it on YouTube, but needless to say, organized religion has really let me down. I do have faith in God and His Son and the Bible. After not worshiping for a very long time, I have a spiritual relationship with God, and I do not attend any church. It's between me and Him. My friend Stephanie also has issues, religious, spiritual issues from her past. And so we were able to share a lot about that. I normally don't talk about those kinds of things with people. It's really something that's personal to me. But I did share, and she shared with me because we had that in common. And so she brought up this old 8-track video that my ex-husband, one of my ex-husbands, had taken of us at a party. And this party was actually pretty boring, but it ended up being a good memory, a fun memory during that time. So I sang a song and played the guitar. I told a couple jokes. Stephanie got up with a bunch of friends and danced to another song. People told jokes. We had like a variety show. So it was kind of fun. And like I say, we rarely ever had parties in that religion, but this was one of those rare occasions. Actually, I got away with a lot because some of the jokes I told probably weren't very appropriate. And even the song is probably not something they would love. But they didn't say anything because I was fairly new to that religion at that time. Anyhow, I'm going to share some of these clips. I hope you'll enjoy it. I will have to try to talk through it a little bit. So hope you'll get the gist of it. So here we go.
Oh, I can't.
Oh, D. Hey, D, come on.
Come on.
Builder. Whatever.
So here I'm singing a little song called Jet Plane. I believe John Denver did this song. I have to turn the volume way down so you may not be able to hear it very well, but this was when I was a lot heavier and I had long hair. And anyhow, here we go with this. The people there had a good time. We're having a blast. Unfortunately, this song is copyright, so I have to take off the volume for the singing part, but I wanted to share with you what I did back in the 90s with the church gathering. It was a fun time, one of the few fun times I had back then. So hope you enjoyed at least the video. Thanks. Three strings walk into a bar.
This bar. And the bartender, the first one walks up to the bar and says, I'll have a scotch. And the bartender says, are you a string? He said, yes. So we don't serve strings around here. Oh, you don't? Oh, well, okay. And he goes and he sits down at the table. And the second string says, I'll get a drink. So he walks up to the bartender and he says, I'll have a double scotch. The bartender says, are you a string? He says, yeah. He said, well, we don't serve strings around here. He goes and sits back down at the table. They start discussing it, and the third string says, I can fix this, bartender. Goes into the bathroom, ties himself in a knot, gets out his comb and combs the top of the string, comes back out, walks up to the bartender and says, I'll have a scotch. He says, are you a string? Afraid not.
Every woman should have 4 pets in her life.
It's a mink around the neck, fox on the shoulders, jaguar in the garage, a lion in bed, and a jackass to pay for it all.